Hey, can you stop squeaking for a minute? No? Okay. Whoa, you guys are crooked. She's serenading you. Anywho, this is the new jacket. I needed to give some extra information because I just didn't last time. So I've worn it a couple days and I've opened my armpit vents, and I feel like that gives me a little extra room. And maybe there's just a little extra material in that sweater that I was wearing last time, that green one. But I do think the armpits are a little higher up than jackets I'm used to. Either way, I forgot to tell you that there's a ski pass. A ski pass pocket in your arm sleeve there. And then the hood is nice and big. It's so you can have a helmet on, and then bright orange. And then the front zips up so high that it's almost like you don't need a neck warmer if you're that type of person. So it is Friday. I just got home from work. I need to pee. But I stopped on the way home. I may get a vanilla sweet cream cold brew. And I did the drive-thru today. I got up to the ordering thing. And he's like, hi, what can I get started for you today? And I said, I have a question. Can you do basically gingerbread instead of vanilla? He's like, yeah, we can do that. I'm like, okay. And then I waited in line for like a long time. It was very slow, but that's okay. And then I got up to the window and he was like, okay, so that was just the cold brew sweet cream, but with gingerbread instead of vanilla, right? And I'm like, yep. And he gives it to me. I pay, and he gives it to me, and he's like, do you want to try that first just to make sure, like, it doesn't need anything, you want it different? And I'm like, sure. Like, I've never been asked that before in my life. And I go to take a sip. He's like, do you want a straw for that? And I'm like, no, thank you, I'm good. And it just brightened my spirits when he was just, like, took the time to, like, it's not a super special order drink, but he's like, just verify that it's good for you. I'm like, thank you so much, sir. Yes, I did tip him. So it is Friday. We are a week and a half from Christmas. And I don't have my Christmas cards out. I don't have presents wrapped. I don't have presents sent. So tomorrow I'm bringing you along and we're going to do the things. And so tonight I am going to not do a whole lot, but I did get my first Christmas package that I am going to open with you tonight. So that'll be fun. There's always a lot of exciting little things in there. And then I'm going to go to bed early because I got like 3 hours of sleep last night, maybe. And somehow I've made it through. That's why I got the coffee. I'm usually not a cold brew this late in the day, but it's dark out. I was going to be driving home. I'm like, I do not need to be super sleepy driving home. So hence the cold brew. But I woke up, it must have been maybe 1:45. Cramps woke me up. So that's great. And then I had to pee. So I got up, I went pee, went back to bed, tried to go back to bed. Couldn't, because the cramps were like getting worse. So I got up again and I had to pee again. And I took some Midol. And I'm like, okay, let's just 20 minutes, it should kick in. She's like, play with me, come on. And then there was a point where I felt the intensity kind of go down. But it was just like, I'm like, it's got to have been more than 20, 30 minutes. And I look at my phone and it had been 30 minutes at that point. And it was almost 3 o'clock then. Second time I got up, it was like 20 after 2. And then like, I couldn't get comfortable. And then the dog gets up. And that's always a bad sign because she only ever gets up, one, if she's hot, which doesn't happen outside of summer, and 2, it means she has to go to the bathroom. So I'm just like waiting for her to start whining, and she does. And sometimes I can coax her to go back to bed. No such luck. So 3:40 in the morning, she had to go out. She did go potty, so it wasn't just like I want to go outside. Yeah, I'm talking about you little pistol. Yeah, hold on. I'll play with you in a minute. And so come back inside, and that was 3:40, and I go back to bed. Hi. Pat, 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 pat. the dad pat. Not quite loud enough for a dad pat, but we're close. And I don't know. It was like another half hour before like I felt good. So I don't know. We're at 4:30 by this point, and I went to bed at 10:30. So we like 3 hours, maybe 3.5 hours. I made it through the day. Thank the good Lord. So we're gonna go to bed early tonight because we need to. It's almost 6 o'clock. I'm gonna take my jacket off, go pee, play with the dog, put my stuff away, and then I'll be back with you. Okay, we're going. I would just like to take a moment for this sweater. My mom made it. 90s mom crafts. Pretty sure she bought this crew neck, and then this was probably like a craft idea. I don't know if she made these mittens. I'm sure there was a pattern. Maybe it was a kit. I don't know. I love it. I always wear it in the winter, right around Christmas, at least once. I need to water Mr. Tree. He's thirsty. Probably one more. I still have not gotten him a tree skirt. I need to. Because knowing me, I'd be like, we'll just wait till next year. No. Wow. This weekend, I plan to put the rest of, really. Whoa. Get the ball. I'll get the ball. I'm so glad I got that on camera. Okay, I need to eat. I can feel the blood sugar dropping. So eat, really. And then I'm just gonna vacuum, Swiffer, and then we'll open the box. Okay, if I said Henry and David's at any point, or if I do, just ignore me. It's Harry and David's. And the dog thinks it's playtime again, so she's really good at timing. Yeah, is that baby cactus? Wow. No, none of this is for you. Are you TSA though? You got it yeah. That's the box. That's not the edible part. What are you tasting? Who knows? I think I need to give her a moment. Yeah. Fresh fruit packed below. I know what fruit it is, and I know you don't like it. So lots of insulation. I think this is the exact same box that I've got the last 2 years, which is just fine. But here's the thing. So if you're new here, the name of my channel is I'm Bringing Healthy Back. It's morphed into vlogs, but there's still podcast episodes. And because I struggled with my relationship with food and my body image, and I mean, I'm not perfect, but I'm so much healthier than I was. And if I can help people heal or just walk alongside them during their journey of healing their relationship with food, that's what I'm here for. And having these boxes, there's so many sweets and delicious things that used to be off limits for me. And so I have binged on stuff that's in this box. But I don't feel that tonight. So that's just amazing. And I thank God that I have such a healthy relationship with food compared to 10 years ago. So without further ado, we have a pretty bow. We have a beautiful wooden box this year. First up, we have a chocolate swirl sampler. It's a nice little cake. I think I will definitely share this with someone. I have 2 jars of this. This is classic recipe pepper and onion relish, and I think this would be really good on a sandwich, but I don't eat a lot of sandwiches, and I always forget that it's in the pantry. So I think I should gift this to someone this year because I have 2 jars. I should take stuff out as I go so I can get to the bottom of things. A little hickory smoked summer sausage, little guy. I like these a lot. These are chocolate covered cherries. Delicious. Ooh, these are also really good. These are mint chocolates. They're like little truffles. They melt so nice in your mouth. These are little truffles, assorted truffles. However, there's a cherry one in here, and the cherry one is its flavor kind of travels, so not the best. Let's see if I can put stuff. No, this will be fine. Then I have, these are so good with tea. These are there's like raspberry jam between 2 shortbread cookies, and you get 2 in each little package. Actually, I can just show you. It's not taped closed or anything. Little sandwich cookies. You can hardly see anything in between them, but I promise there's a little bit of jam in between. Okay, we have some 3-seed crackers to go with your summer sausage. Ooh, or your pepper and onion jam. Have some Super Party snack mix. Whoop, whoop. Have some white cheddar to go on your little charcuterie board. Some mousse munch. This stuff is delicious. Really, it's the chocolate pieces that are the best. It's milk chocolate. So you have like caramel corn. Is it caramel corn? Yeah, caramel corn mixed with chocolate covered caramel corn. Delicious. A little extra padding. And then below that, 8 pears. And one of them has a golden wrapper. So amazing. And I feel so not triggered opening this box this year. Just because I've taken foods off limits. So this is not like, it's special and it's wonderful, and I'm very grateful that I've been gifted it. It's not from Harry and David's. This is someone outside of the company purchased it and gifted it to me. So that is the fun little, see this wooden little crate. Last year it was a metal one. Actually, these are exactly what I want. I want to arrange, I don't have a good place to put shoes, and I kind of want to get a bunch of these and put them sideways and stack them like 90 degrees or like 45 degrees into the corner and have a place to stack my shoes. Can I call Harry and David's and be like, hey, the wooden box that's in your gift box this year, can I have like 10 of those? I'll pay for them. So I think we need to try something now, because what I had for supper, I didn't have, like I said, I knew I was hungry. I was getting like hot and a little jittery from 1, the coffee, and 2, low blood sugar. But I still am crampy, and it's hard to tell when you're hungry. Girls, maybe. How was all this fit in here? Sausage was there. This was here. This was in the middle. That's what that packaging is for. Those were there. I'm going to, I might have 2 things. Might just mess around. Have a mint chocolate. Have a chocolate covered cherry. I love little poppable sweet things, because sometimes you just want something small, but you want something like rich. So the truffles are really good for that. Look at those big whoppers. Oh, it's cold. I was going to show you a cross section. The cherry is too chewy. So, it's rude to chew with food in your mouth. Those are really good. Now, I am not a maraschino cherry person. And these are not maraschino cherries. They're the dark cherries that if you've ever had a dry cherry, it's a dark cherry. That's what these are. Oh, these are so good. I think I'm just going to have a few of these and not even touch the truffles tonight. And that's okay. For just supper, I had some cucumber, tomato, red onion, feta, olive oil, salt and pepper salad. And then I had 2 smaller pieces of homemade bread. And what I've started doing, like in the morning, if I have 2 fried eggs, I'll have butter all around the pan, but there's more room for other things than just 2 eggs. I'll put my piece of toast or 2 pieces of toast in the buttered pan, and it's so good. So I toasted a couple pieces of toast that way, and I put avocado on those. And I'm like, I've been listening to the Huberman Lab podcast kind of throughout this week, and like the human body and like health and wellness and eating well and moving your body well and exercise fascinate me. And so a 4-hour-long podcast, lady doctor, man doctor, multiple different doctors talking about eating well and moving your body and impacts of different nutrients and all this stuff. 4-hour-long podcast, not a problem, just because it fascinates me. But there's so much talk, and if you're in the food and fitness realm at all on social media or even at your gym or whatnot, there's a big push right now for like eating a lot of protein. And all the scientists, the doctors, the experts. Now, I take what everyone says with a grain of salt, and I compare it to what other people are saying, and I'm like, you got to think for yourself too. But it's very consistent. Like, yes, having adequate protein, or good quality protein, along with resistance training. Like, you can't just up your protein and sit around all day. Like, sitting around all day isn't good for anyone. But like, resistance training is so good for so many things, like your bones, your muscles, your joints, your brain. Not even just talking about like your feel good, happy chemicals in your brain. Resistance training is so good. And so I was eating like I don't think there was a ton of protein in tonight's dinner. I mean, there was cheese, and I know there's small amounts of protein in like bread, and it was homemade bread, but still I'm like, do I have all this non-essential amino acids? And then at the same time, I was talking to my friend at Bible study last night. I'm like, in the secular world, people who don't say they don't believe in God or they don't think there's anything after this life, like, yes, I want to optimize my time here on earth, like having a healthy mind, healthy body, so that when I do age, I'm not a burden on others, I'm not a burden on myself, so I'm just healthy. But there's so much push to like live as long as you can, and like God is in ultimate control. You can do everything right. He might take you earlier than the rest of the world thinks you should go, or you might get sick unexpectedly. But anyway, I'm like, God created a very intricate machine of a human body when he created it. And you're telling me that if I don't get this amount of protein right when I wake up, if I don't get this amount of protein every day, like, they're not saying you're going to die and it's going to be the end of the world. They're saying like that's how you can optimize your body and your nutrition and everything like that. And I'm like, and then I think of the book of Daniel, the beginning, when Daniel was like, we don't want to eat like the meat. Was it just the meat? Like the king's food, what he was giving the young men that the king had abducted. Read it. He's like, give us just fruits and vegetables. And here's the thing though, my version, one of the versions of the Bible says pulse. And so it's like the grain and the feed that was given to animals. Pretty sure that's what my friend said when we were discussing it like 2 weeks ago at Bible study. 3 weeks ago? Because there was Thanksgiving in there. And Daniel and his friends looked healthier after that time span than the other young men who were eating what the king gave them, had intended to give them to eat because of the Lord's favor. And so there's only so much you as a human being and me as a human being can do on my own. I can't do it all. And I'd rather have God's favor than try to be perfect and optimize it all on my own. However, I was looking today at whey protein isolate. I'm like, do I want a clear protein? Because I'm thinking of like starting my morning with like a protein shake. Because usually I start my morning with coffee and then breakfast gets pushed back and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, maybe if I start with a protein shake, do my morning thing, take my coffee to go, or have my coffee a little later. I don't know. I'm open to it. I'm open to supplements. And I'm not saying protein powder is not going to replace any of the meat, cheese, dairy, plant proteins that I already consume. It's just a supplement. So how did we get here? Dinner. Not really a protein-rich dinner, but, I'm really supplementing it here with these chocolate-covered cherries. I'm going to finish these, set my box by the other gifts, because maybe I'll gift something else besides the pepper and onion relish, and vacuum and Swiffer, and then get ready for bed. Because it's 7, but like I said, even though that's early, my body is ready for bed. Good morning. I have myself here a whipped coffee. I am going to put a koozie on it because I don't want it to get watered down. So this morning I had a master plan and it didn't go the way I had thought I would do it, but we're going to move on. So the dog woke up at 4. As I expected, she didn't go poop last night, and if she doesn't go poop before she goes to bed, she wakes up in the middle of the night. So I got up, I opened the door to let her out, and she sprints after something. So it's either a cat or a rabbit, and I had a split second to decide to look at the ground, and I'm like, wait, that's where I'm jumping to, because I wasn't even out. I may have stepped out onto the first step, and then it's 4 or 5 steps down. And I landed on one leg, so all that impact hit my knee and went up to my hip. And if I had been awake versus just getting out of bed and looking back at it, I'm like, why didn't I land on both feet? Why didn't I spring down into it to absorb some of that shock? Why didn't I keep running forward? It's not what happened. So got back inside. I did some dynamic stretch, some static and some dynamic stretching, just because it didn't feel great right from the get-go. It's not super painful, I need to take medicine for it, and it feels a lot better now as it's going on 11 o'clock. She had 0 impulse control. And anywho, I thought about, it took me a while to go back to bed. I thought about just getting up, but I had 6 hours of sleep, which is not enough for one night, and then having 3 hours of sleep the night before, not a great combination. So I got up at 6:45, and I had planned to go to the gym, but for some reason getting up that late, which is not that late, but getting up that late, I was like, I don't want to go to the gym. So I did an at-home workout. I had my coffee. I listened to my Bible for a little bit. I made a couple Amazon purchases. I needed one ingredient for one of my recipes with Ray, gifts in jars. I needed to buy some instant black tea. And then I use a journal on a daily basis just to write down content ideas or to-do lists or whatever it may be. And I've had 2 pages left for the last several weeks, and I haven't been using them because I'm I need to buy a new planner. And the one I have is 2 or 3 years old, and I didn't start using it right away. And that brand no longer makes the one I want. All of that brand's journals and planners are spiral bound, and I want a hardcover, book bound one. And so I had a hard time making a decision of which one to get, but I made a decision. It's 11 o'clock. The post office closes at 2. Right now, oh yeah, I did a workout. I made it up on my own. I don't think I warmed up well enough, and I definitely didn't cool down enough, but I did warm up. So my warm up, I think, was pretty good. And then I had 15-pound dumbbells. I did 20 walking lunges, and my goal was for them to be an overhead hold. And I could do that half the time, except the last set I did not, because that was a lot. Otherwise, I had them on my shoulders. 20 walking lunges, 30-second rest, unweighted Bulgarian split squats, 10 per leg, and then 1 minute rest, and repeat that. And I did 5 times, and I was so overheated and just trying not to be sick for a few minutes, but I stretched, I cooled down, I wasted some time scrolling through Instagram, and I didn't take a shower, which is very unlikely, but unlike me, but I washed my face, I did a baby wipe down, and so we're not smelly, put on some clean clothes, had breakfast. Last night's dinner wasn't very protein rich. This morning I had 3 scrambled eggs with some cheddar cheese, green onions, the 2 tortillas. I could have had 3, but I knew 3 tortillas would be way too much food. So some of the eggs didn't get into a tortilla. And then I have my whipped coffee. So should be around 30 grams of protein with this. We're trying. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're just putting in an effort. So right now, I really want to get my gifts sent out. So I'm going to wrap them and box them, and I'll show you what I'm getting and for who. And I also want to work on Christmas cards this weekend, but I can do that tonight, tomorrow, and I can send those out on Monday. Cards shouldn't take as long, and I'm not sending them across the ocean or anything. So I have a little extra time for Christmas cards, but what I need to do is I have a roll of stamps, but it's not a brand new roll of stamps, so I need to count how many stamps I have versus how many people are in my address book that I plan to send a card to. And then when I go to the post office, see about buying another roll of stamps. Or maybe I'll get fun Christmas ones, a book of stamps. Because right now I just have American flag ones. So without further ado, let me have a drink of coffee. Good, not quite chilled. I did decaf. Because the last thing I needed was a full tablespoon of instant coffee. I would be buzzing. Okay, let me show you. Okay, so I am someone who, if I'm going to get a gift, I want it to be something I'm actually going to use, not something that I have to like find a use for or that I'm going to regift. So I like things that are sometimes a little more simple, or things that I've really enjoyed. There's one book that I've been kind of gifting to people throughout the year. And so I got a few copies for a few people. And so this year I had been watching, she's a YouTuber. I think she lives in Minnesota. She does a lot of minimalism, like decluttering your home, kind of the Minimal Mom. And one recommendation she had for Christmas gifts was a reverse coloring book. And I'm like, oh, that sounds great. And I looked into it and I'm like, oh, that's not what I thought it was going to be. But I found what I thought it was going to be. And so these ink tracing books. So you're given, wow. Okay, so you're given like the gray part of a picture, and then you take pens and you draw in the white space. And so here's some examples on the back. And I got a bunch of different ones. So do I really only? Okay, so, oh no, that one got a little creased. World Landmarks 1, World Landmarks 2, City Buildings and Gardens. Idea that. I like these ones. So the landmarks and the city buildings and gardens all have gray. Hidden images. These ones have color behind them. So I think part of me regrets not just getting all of this brand of ink tracing. Oh, it is. It's a line tracing reverse coloring book. Okay, so it is kind of a reverse coloring book. So I have a Beautiful Women one. an Ancient Cities one. That one's awesome. Maybe I should have got duplicates. Anyhow, it's too late. We're moving on. Animals and mushrooms. So one of my friends really likes mushrooms, so I'm getting her that one. And then the Minimal Mom, is that who she is? Forgive me if it's the wrong thing. These Micron pens, the original Pigma ink pen. So it comes in different sizes. There's a 0.2 millimeter, 0.25, 0.3, 0.35, 0.45, and 0.5 millimeter. So if they want really fine lines or really thick lines, they have the option. I ordered all these on Amazon. If you want them for yourself, I'll leave links down below. So each ink tracing book will have a pen pack to go with them. And I am considering, some people that I'm giving gifts to, I've gone in with other people to get them a different gift. So like my mom, my family ended up getting her a SiriusXM radio subscription. And I had already purchased one of these ink tracing books and one of these packs of pens and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, do I want to give, because like, if you have 10 people that you're getting a gift for, like that amount of money can add up really fast. And so I was trying to like stay within like $30 for each person. And some people it's less, some people it's more, but still that money adds up really fast. And then if you have to ship things, so I'm like, do I want to send any of these back? Anywho, then I have, because I'm like, these ink tracing books could be something that you could do when you're watching TV, when you're winding down for the night, when you're drinking your morning coffee. It's just something you could do while you have something else on in the background. It just kind of like maybe calms your mind. And it may not appeal to everyone that I give it to, but my last video, I told you guys about these Hammond's. They're kind of specialty chocolate bars. So I'm gonna put one with each person's, and then it's deciding who gets which one. So there's dark chocolate with peanut butter, milk chocolate with creamy ganache and shredded coconut. That one would go to my mom. This will go to my mom regardless. I just don't know. Anywho, okay, we have milk chocolate with red velvet cake ganache, dark chocolate with toffee brittle, milk chocolate with pretzel cookie, peanut brittle, mallow, and cereal, dark chocolate with sea salt, rich espresso flavored dark chocolate infused with coffee caramel, and milk chocolate with bits of cookie. So some of these I'm like, I already know which one you're getting. There's one person who used to not like dark chocolate, but now they've kind of come around to it. My mom will get the coconut cream pie, the milk chocolate with creamy ganache and shredded coconut. One person used to like to really travel, and so I'm like, do I give them city buildings and gardens or world landmarks? I kind of am thinking the world landmarks. Animals, or I could give them the ancient cities. It's a tough decision, but you're here for it. See, the color is so inviting. We'll do world landmarks. And I don't know if they like dark chocolate or not. You are going to get... See, I just got one of each that sounded really good. This will go to them. This one. Toffee brittle. I want to give my aunt the world landmark one. I don't know if she likes dark chocolate or not. Could just do the milk chocolate with, they could do the cookies and cream one. Ancient cities. Who am I giving these all to? Oh, hold on, I have a list. I think I got extra presents and I need not have. I need to get my list, but for my uncle, okay, some wool gloves that have silicone grippies on the palm. My dad has some and he really likes them. And they're brothers. Then I also got, he has a hard time staying warm. And my dad said, maybe some over the knee socks like you wear skiing. I'm like, ski socks are not over the knee, they're over the calf. So I found a pair. Well, there was a pair that I really wanted. They're like made in Denmark or somewhere over in Europe. Don't get dog hair on them. But they're like $70. And I'm like, I love you, but I need to stick to my budget. So I got a pair. Of course, I have receipts just in case they don't fit. But hopefully they will help keep them warm. Do guys have a hard time buying for guys? Because as a lady, I have a hard time buying for like my dad. Okay, gloves and socks. Then some figs for my dad. And I'm going in with the rest of my family to get him some other stuff. So that will be the only thing I'm sending to my dad. Oops. Here's the thing. I got 3 copies of this book that I really like, and I only have 1 gift receipt. So it's called Remarkably Bright Creatures. And I don't know if I've talked to you guys about this book. Bear with me. I'm just going to read the inside of the cover. After Tova Sullivan's husband died, she began working the night shift at the Sewell Bay Aquarium, mopping floors and tidying up. Keeping busy has always helped her cope, which she's been doing since her 18-year-old son, Eric, mysteriously vanished on a boat in Puget Sound over 30 years ago. Tova becomes acquainted with curmudgeonly Marcellus, a giant Pacific octopus living at the aquarium. Marcellus knows more than anyone can imagine, but wouldn't dream of lifting one of his 8 arms for his human captors until he forms a remarkable friendship with Tova. Ever the detective, Marcellus deduces what happened the night Tova's son disappeared, and now Marcellus must use every trick his old invertebrate body can muster to unearth the truth for her before it's too late. Shelby Van Pelt's debut novel is a gentle reminder that sometimes taking a hard look at the past can help uncover a future that once felt impossible. And I listened to this. I listened to the audiobook. It was really good. Really, really good. So that is something that I was planning to give to one of my friends, but I also got her an ink tracing book. And usually, like, she gets me a pair of socks for Christmas, and I love that. Growing up, like, when you're a kid, you're like, I don't want a pair of socks for Christmas. And then you grow up and you're like, get me a nice pair of socks. That's all I want. And so, I think I'll get her the book. The book and a chocolate. And then I have to rearrange, and then I'm getting one of my sister's book and chocolate. And I feel like that's enough. Sometimes, like, I think about gifts that I've given or gifts that I've received, and sometimes, like, you get a little basket of things, and you're like, a little thing of this, a little thing of this, a little thing of this, a little thing of this. And if you're doing that for, like, a few people, that's fine. But if you're trying to do that for, again, 10 people, like, the cost of all those little things really adds up. So I think I love giving gifts, but also you just have to, like, receiving a gift is like a blessing. It should never be an expectation. So I hope that everyone I give a gift to is thankful and just, like, it's a nice token, but not a necessary thing. And I hope that you guys, whether you're giving gifts or you're receiving gifts, keep in mind that it really is the sentiment of giving a gift rather than the gift itself. Because if you've ever listened to the Minimalists, their like tagline is love people, use things, not the other way around. Let's not love the things. Like, we say, oh my gosh, I love that book, or I love those socks, or whatever it may be. And yeah, sometimes you get really excited about a certain gift versus another gift, but love people, use things. Okay, I'm going to put you on a time lapse, or I'm not going to get anything done. So I started listening to a little Christmas novella. It's called The Christmas Appeal by a lady. Janet. I'm gonna listen to that and wrap and package some gifts. I'm exhausted. It's almost 1. It's 7 to 1 right now. I am so thankful that all of the gifts that I need to send, I'm going to send most of the gifts to my parents' house, and then they can distribute the gifts from there. I fit them all in the Harry and David's box that my little Christmas, well, I shouldn't say little, my Christmas gift that I went through with you guys last night was in, so they all fit in there. So I'm gonna tape that up, put an address on it, and then I have 2 other gifts that will be sent separately. I thought it would be cheaper just to send one bigger box than 4 separate boxes. For what's going to my parents' house. So I need to go look in the basement to see if I think I could just slip this into a padded envelope. And I think I could slip this into a padded envelope too. So I might just stop by the Dollar Tree and pick those up if I don't have anything in the basement. I'll check the basement first. Then I'll run to the post office, and I feel so tired. I might just come right home and take a nap. But we got our packages wrapped, and we'll get them in the mail. Good morning, happy Sunday. So last night yesterday afternoon, went to the post office. There was no line. Praise God. It was so nice. And then as I was leaving, like a whole bunch of cars were whipping into the parking lot because it was like 30 minutes from the time the service window closed. Came home, laid down for a half hour, did not fall asleep just because my brain's not used to turning off. Took the dog for a WALK. Then, before that, I started a movie called Carry On Netflix. It's an action thriller, and it's set around Christmas time, so it's not a Christmas movie, but if you like action movies and you want something with a hint of Christmas, I guess that one might scratch the itch. And then I watched Christmas Island. The one thing was it was snowing and the snow was on the ground as they're stranded. But the pilot keeps checking the weather and it's like 36, 39 degrees. And I'm like, it's still snowing and there's snow on the ground. It's above freezing for multiple days in a row. Someone, I don't know who decided that was the temperature that it was going to be. Anywho, aside from that, I enjoyed the movie. I put some garland up around the house. I put labels on my Bake Miss gifts and jars that I've made that had printable labels. There was one recipe. Please stop licking the ottoman. Thank you. There's a chocolate mug cake mix that didn't come with a printable recipe, so I need to print that. I need to make one and print that off. It's super easy. It's like add water and microwave kind of thing. And then I watched a third movie, Holiday in the Wild, which, again, not super Christmassy. It doesn't get... They are taking their family Christmas pictures at the beginning of the movie, and then it's not till halfway through where it's actually like Christmas time. I liked that one too. I stayed up way too late. I did not get a whole lot done because I spent my time watching movies, which I'm halfway fine with, halfway not fine with, because it was relaxing-ish. But again, I stayed up too late. It altered my schedule this morning. I did not get my laundry folded. And I have to wrap this up real quick. I think I'll talk to you a little bit after church. I need to let the dog OUT and get on my way to church right now. When I get home, I'm going to record a couple Bake Miss episodes because time is running short coming up to Christmas, and there's a whole lot of stuff that I would like to do that I don't know if I'm going to have time to do. Then I'll run to the grocery store later, might stop at the hardware store because I still need a hook for my wreath to put on my front door because it's just been hanging out on my dining room table. But there's a wreath there's garland on my dining room table right now. So I want to get my wreath hooked up onto the door. And then if I have time, I have 2 last Bake Miss episodes. So there's 4 remaining that I need to record. And I don't know if I'm going to get the last 2 recorded today. I was hoping to do something next weekend, but if I do that next weekend, I won't have time to record, so I'd have to record during the week. It's a whole time constraint situation. So, and this doesn't take into account that I haven't done any Christmas baking for myself this year. So we're just trying to find the balance between all the things I want to do. So that's where we're at. Happy Saturday. I'm going to get headed to church, and I might talk to you later. If not, I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas, and thank you for being here today.